Good morning, guys. Welcome to the vlog. Today is going to be short and sweet. Maybe not so sweet because I have a bit of a rant or bits of different things that have annoyed me over the last week or so. You'll have to excuse the state of me. I've literally just got in from taking Nico for a walk, so I'm a little bit sweaty and I have put some treatment in my hair so that I can wash it in a bit. It's been a really busy week, but it's been good busy, as in productive and not really many kind of interruptions from events and stuff. I mean, I did have events, but I kind of said no to them because I just had so much because we're still kind of catching up. And not only that, we're trying to also catch up, but also get ahead of work so that we can get back on track. So we usually are at least 2 weeks ahead in terms of filming, scheduling and stuff like that. So we're trying to get back there. And especially because my birthday is kind of coming up in June and we're going away and we really want to be ahead for that. I'm just taking it easy with you. I mean, let's be real, I'm always taking it easy with the events. I'm not really, rarely do I say yes to everything. There is something that I've said yes to, which I'm going to tomorrow. Yeah, so I've had to actually reschedule my Pilates class tomorrow. I've moved it to later in the week because the creative director for Dior is going to be here and he wants to meet regional artists. And the team have contacted me and said that they'd like me to meet him. So that would be nice. That would be really good. So I'm meeting Peter Phillips tomorrow. That will be fun. I mean, he's huge. Literally everyone knows Peter Phillips. And if you don't, then where have you been? And you're probably not in the beauty industry or fashion industry. But yeah, everyone knows him. He literally is responsible for the Dior shows, for all these kind of campaigns you see for Dior. That's him working on all these celebrities and everything. So yeah, it will be a nice chat. It'll be a nice one-on-one chat that we're going to have. So I'm looking forward to that. So we went to the cinema yesterday and we watched, what did we watch? Accountant 2, which I wasn't sure about because I loved The Accountant 1. But when we saw the trailer for The Accountant 2, it kind of looked a little bit like it was going to be a bit of a comedy. So I don't think they did the trailer right because we were umming and ahhing about whether we should watch it in the cinema, the second one. But anyway, we went and watched it and it was actually really good. So you should go and see it if you like the first one. So we went and watched that. And do you know something that really, really frustrates me is people who talk in the cinema. I just don't get it. There's literally a trailer that comes up before the movie starts saying, turn your phone off, do not talk. I don't understand. Do people not understand that don't talk? I actually could not get over. I just can't get over the fact that there are people in this world who are so oblivious to people around them. I'm a very observant person, so I will notice things. I'm just very observant. So anyway, and not only do I notice things, but I also kind of I'm very aware of my surroundings and will ensure that I'm not kind of, speaking too loudly or disturbing anyone or anything like that. I'm conscious of people's space, So we're sitting down and obviously it was busy yesterday and we said to each other, we should really find a day where there's no one who goes to the cinema. Because it's so annoying. We had people sitting next to us on either side. So we sat down. We had good seats right at the back, right? In the middle. There's a guy sitting next to... So there's me, then there's Bobby, and then there's a guy sitting next to him with his partner, whoever it was, right? She literally... I'm not joking. We got there a little bit, not early, but, when the trailers were going on. And, well, before the trailers. When it's still pretty quiet? There's nothing on the screen yet. And she is talking so much, right? And the movie's not started yet. So, okay, I know you're probably thinking, well, why would you get annoyed at that? The movie hasn't even started. But I'm not being funny, but that kind of gives me a good idea of what she's going to be like during the movie. If she can't keep her mouth shut now, she hasn't got a chance in hell of keeping her mouth shut through the movie. I just don't believe that she's all of a sudden going to stop and then she's just going to dedicate her attention to the movie. She's talking and the guy next to her is really not getting a word in. I don't know who he was. I don't think that could have been her husband because I think if it was her husband, he'd probably think, I'm not going out to the cinema with her. But she literally wouldn't stop. She was, when someone is just really interested in talking about themselves and that she wasn't interested in him whatsoever. She was just almost when she's talking to him, it's like she's teaching him. There's a woman sitting next to me with her husband. They were pretty cute. They were older and they were just chatting with each other, but it wasn't loud and constant and annoying. They were just talking to each other. And then this random guy comes up. He's obviously come to the cinema on his own, which is fine. He's come up and he's right in front of me and he's excuse me, you're in my seat. And I just looked at him and okay, this is what happened. It was really funny, right? So I just sat there, I was sitting there like this, right? And I was just like sitting there and I literally did not flinch. And I just looked at him like he's speaking another language. And I was just like, I just stared at him because I know Bobby's going to just step in. I literally, and he says this all the time about me, I literally don't have to do anything because he will just he'll answer. If someone directs a question of me, he'll probably answer it, right? Not only that, but I felt, do you know in my head why I wasn't like, oh no, am I? Because I felt like saying, do you know my husband? Do you know my husband? My husband is the most OCD person you're ever going to come across. There is no way in hell that my man has managed to get the seat wrong. No way. So I'm literally unbothered by this. And I just looked at him like in my head, I should have really said it. I think most conversations I have in my head and I should really probably say them. No, maybe I shouldn't. But I was just in my head and I was just like, no, I think you've got the seat wrong. And then Bobby was like, what's your number? And he's like A7 or something, right? And he's looked down at the seat and he's like, yeah, A7. Right, at the number on the seat, and I'm still unbothered at this point. And Bobby's like, well, this isn't A or something, right? And he's like, and then you know what he's done? He's counted from the end. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. I'm very sorry. And then moved over to the woman next to us. So it was the woman next to me, and her husband clearly is not OCD because she was like, oh, is it? Oh, okay. And then she got up and went to the next seat. Like, honestly, I just felt like saying, you've really got this wrong right now. You need to take a step back and go and count again. That was that. And he sat next to me. So this is what we had. Through the movie, this is another reason I get anxiety in a movie, right? I'm the kind of person, and this is really wrong. I really wish I wasn't, but I probably won't say anything if someone is like talking nonstop, right? I probably won't. I'll probably come very close to it and get really worked up and just end up the whole movie being so annoyed and looking at them and just like, you know, my mind is just, you know, but I don't do anything about it. But then Bobby will always, without fail, he won't even let it wait too long. He'll just, he will literally like go over and be like, excuse me. And he'll say it loud. And that's the moment that I just want the ground to swallow me up, right? So when he does that, so my anxiety, the little bit of, it's mine, it's not real anxiety. I'm just saying that it's just like, you know, my little bit of kind of nerves there are always like, please don't, because then my husband's going to make a scene. Literally, that is what I think to myself. My worry is not that someone's going to disturb the movie. My worry is that you're going to talk and then my husband's going to and then embarrass me in some way. So please don't do that. So anyway, I'm worried that this woman's going to just talk through the movie. And she did a little bit, but it wasn't like consistently enough to make, you know, that was annoying. It was just like the odd bit here and there. And it was annoying because it was like a certain point where you're waiting for Ben Affleck to say something and she says it before he says it. And it's like, we all knew it, but we just didn't feel the need to say it out loud. Like, we all knew what he was going to say. And she was one of those. It was really annoying. And she couldn't sit still. She couldn't sit still. Okay, fine. I get everyone's different. Don't come at me. I get everyone is different, right? I get everyone watches movies differently. I understand. I'm not saying everyone has to watch it the way I do. But I do think you should be aware of the people around you. And I'm not being funny, but you're not sitting in your, like, what? She's sitting there 1 minute, she's sitting that back. Next minute, she's sitting forward like this. Next minute, she's got her legs up like this, watching the movie like this, right? I'm not being funny, but you're not on your sofa at home. I don't care how you sit. It's just when you're constantly moving, it's distracting. That's what she was doing, and that was just really annoying. The guy next to me, I'm not even joking, he was like grunting through the movie. He was doing this disgusting thing with his nose where he's like, I can't even do it. But you know when you like, it's like he's trying to bring all the saliva back to the back of his nose. You know that like sound? It's disgusting. He did that a few times. It was so disgusting. And I'm literally, I didn't even sit straight on my seat. I was like this the entire time towards Bobby. I don't know, guys. I've just got this thing. Like, I don't know, I'm in the cinema. I don't want to sit next to you when you've got your shoes off. Like, don't take your shoes off. Like, to me, that is disgusting. I don't know. I'm just like, really? Like, he's taking his shoes off and it's one of those reclining seats and he's put his, like, legs up and it's like, for God's sake. Anyway, he's doing that. And then he's obviously bought himself some sweets, right? Not popcorn, which, okay, fair enough. Maybe that would have annoyed me if he was constantly rummaging around in the popcorn, but that would have annoyed me in itself. So I'm not saying there was a better option, but he's bought himself some sweets. I don't know what they were, like Werther's or something like that, but each sweet was wrapped, right? And he decided he wanted to have one every 5 minutes, and he didn't even try and be quiet when he was unwrapping it. It was literally like so loud, and oh my God, it was just so annoying. Honestly, I just came out and I enjoyed the movie because I really did try and ignore these things, but clearly not because I remember all of them. But I do honestly think to myself, like, why are people so... There's many words I can use, but I'm just not going to. But yeah, so that was the experience at the cinema. I did end up also buying myself a few bits from Decathlon, which is actually pretty good. Sports stuff, like, it's the cheaper alternative, but I got myself, it depends what you want to get. Like, I wouldn't get things like rackets and stuff there. I think, I don't know, maybe they'll be all right, but actually I don't know, do they do like different brands? They do, I think. But anyway, I bought a Pilates roller thing because my teacher has been telling me, what do you call them? Instructor? Yeah, instructor. My Pilates instructor has told me to get a certain type of roller because I have the wrong one. So I've got that so I can do some back exercise, some stretching for my back, which is really good. So I picked that up and like a squishy ball. And what else did we do? That was it for yesterday. But you know what was really nice? Having a weekend with no meetings, like as in not meeting anyone, and it was just Bobby and I. That was so nice. And today we have our day at home. And we have also actually agreed with one another that we do need one day on the weekend, which is not going anywhere. So that's probably going to be our Sundays, where we literally do not leave. Like, we don't go anywhere. We just chill at home and relax. And then we have a proper full day off, because we do really go at it during the week. Like, not even just during the week. I think the Saturdays end up being busy sometimes. We do need a day where we literally just unwind. So we've decided Sundays, no meeting anyone, nothing. I mean, we're not going to be meeting anyone for a little while anyway, because we do have a lot going on. And we also have decided to stick to this whole, like, not meeting people for dinner, because it just doesn't fit in with our schedule. Like, the bottom line is, and this is where I feel like I've just learned that we have to kind of stick to our boundaries, because I don't care if other people love going out in the evening. We don't, right? And that's because Bobby is up at 4:30 more or less every day. I am up at 6 every day. It just doesn't work for us. Do you know what I mean? And that's where we have to, like, I'm sick and tired of being made to feel bad because I get up early. And it really annoys me when you have people who like, okay, should we meet up in the evening? And then we suggest something that works for us, which clearly would work for them, because unless you're having midday naps, right? I don't get why you can't meet for lunch on a weekend. But some people are like, oh no, why do you want to meet in the daytime? Or why do you want to meet in the daytime? Or no, don't be silly, let's go for the evening. It's like, don't pressure me. I don't want to. Obviously, that's why I suggested lunch. So we're just going to put our foot down now. Like, you know what else? We are getting older. For God's sake, we're both in our 40s. Like, give us a break. Like, we can't do that kind of stuff anymore. Like, I'm really not interested in going out to late night stuff like that. I think that has kind of been it in terms of like my rant for the week. It wasn't like it was a bad week. It was just a few odd bits that were just really annoying. We did watch this show actually. Has anyone seen The Bear? Or is it just called Bear? It's an American TV series, and it's about this chef, and the way it's made is brilliant because it's so raw. There's not a lot of kind of editing. It's not all wrapped up the way that an American series is. It's very raw. It's so real. It doesn't even feel like they're actors in there, but they are. Watch it because it's a really, really good show. I would say watch that first, right? Watch that. You're going to be obsessed with it. It's such a great show. Just stick with it. Trust me. It's about this guy who's a chef, and he has these insecurities about the kind of food that he can create because he wants to get a star. He's not come from the most affluent family, and he's got issues like every family does, like in the family. It just shows how sometimes family can make or break what you are doing, and how things that are going on can really affect what you do, especially if you are an entrepreneur or you're trying to build something from scratch. So watch it. It's a really, really good show. So we watched that a little while back and we loved it, and we loved the cinematography and the way that it was made. It was great. And there's this other show that we've just started watching called Boiling Point, which is actually a British It's made in a very similar way, and it's about a chef as well, a British guy though. So I don't know which one was done first, but whichever one was done first, the US one is better, I would say. That is great. That's a great show. Boiling Point is great. It's actually a movie, and then they have a series that follows on from it. I don't feel like I'm following, like, as in the story is gripping me as much as what the US one did, because I do feel like the American one, it isn't the same story, by the way. It is very different. It's just, I think when you watch it, then you'll realise that it's the cinematography and stuff like that. The way it's made is similar. And just the fact that it is about a chef, right? The US version is much better. But the British, the Boiling Point is a good show. I just feel like it lacks that kind of, like, when you feel like there's a resolution in sight, or do you know what I mean? It's just not going to resolve. Like, it's one of those things where you're just like, what is going to happen? There's literally one episode left. How are you going to actually bring all of this together? So it's one of those things. But watch The Bear, or it's called Bear, or whatever it is. Watch that. It's really good. So yeah, as I was saying, we're watching Boiling Point at the moment. And I don't know what else we've got. I think that's about it, guys. I'm not going to bore you too much. I just thought I'd come on, have a little bit of a chat. We're so behind at the moment and still trying to catch up that we haven't even managed to film a podcast yet. So it's been a while. Maybe we'll just see that first podcast that we did as season 1. And hopefully season 2 is coming up soon. My day is going to be me relaxing. I'm going to do some art. I'm going to wash my hair, do a bit of self-care stuff, relax, chill. I think that's about it. I hope your Sunday goes very well. I hope you have a very relaxed and chilled Sunday. I hope you do all of the things that you enjoy doing and that you don't stress. Yeah. Happy Sunday, guys. I'm going to see you on the next vlog.